What's good, guys? It's Joseph, and today I have a relatively different video for you guys. We're going to be talking about making looping GIFs in After Effects. We're not going to be making like a specific animation in general. We're going to be making, or I'm just going to be talking about some techniques you can do to make your animations loop, and then get them rendered out and ready to be posted on Twitter, Instagram, your website, your portfolio, whatever the case may be. They work perfectly for portfolios. I'm going to show you some that I've made. Not all of these are going to be looping, but most of them are. So I'll show you the ones that are. For example, this one, you can see the animation is just going through and playing over and over again. And I'll kind of show you how that works here in a second and how to get them rendered out. Like this one, you can see that it's just playing over and over again. The logo animates on and off. This one, the 100 Thieves logo animates on, and then there's a layer mask or layer matte, whatever you want to call it, to make it disappear, and then it just plays over. So you can be kind of creative to, make it loop. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a continuously looping animation. You can have a logo that animates on and then somehow animates off. You can have like a glitch to where like glitches on and glitches off, or have like some type of distortion or effect, shine, film burn, all that good stuff. This one, the logo kind of animates on. I literally made the logo animation and then scaled it down, put a motion tile on it, put in the background. Another case of animating on and off. This one is one where it kind of the animation the animation loops when it goes through the G in design. And so that's pretty cool. That was a little bit of one that's a little bit more creative. This one, obviously, animating on and off, and you get the gist. This is one I want to show you on the very end. Here, this doesn't necessarily have the same starting and ending point. It just kind of glitches throughout the animation, and so it kind of just plays seamlessly. And so that's one of the examples I was talking about, to where it just kind of glitched on and off. And if you want to look at these a little bit further, a little bit more in depth, I'll put the link down in the description for my portfolio, and you can see it under daily animations. I have some other stuff on here if you're interested, but I'm just going to go into After Effects and kind of just show you guys how this kind of stuff works. I'm just going to go ahead and make a composition. I'll do 1080 by 1080, whatever, 30 frames per second. Nothing too fancy. And I'm just going to go through like a few different techniques and what you want to be thinking about with your animation and as you're making it. Hopefully this isn't like a huge, long video. I want it to be relatively quick, just so you can get these ideas in your head. And sorry if I'm talking really fast. I have a lot of stuff I want to get out, and I don't want you to be here for longer than you have to. So I'm just going to make a square, just a white square. And then I'll scale this down. I'll just be using the square to show what I want to show. So going to where you have the first idea I was going to share with you guys, I'm going to make this like 1 second total. You can literally animate 1 second of footage and have it play seamlessly, and it'll just be over and over again, and it's perfect to put on your portfolio or whatever. And then it'll make your at the end for rendering, it'll make your file size so much smaller to where you can upload it in a higher quality in more places. Because I think Twitter has like a 15 megabyte upload limit or whatever. So you just want to keep that in mind. I'm literally just going to animate the scale here. So I'll put the scale at 0 in the very beginning, or no, I'll keep it here in the very beginning. I'll just put it like at 40 or whatever. And then at the end, I'm going to make another keyframe to have it 40. So if it's the same frame at the start and at the end, then that's how it will loop seamlessly. So if I go in the beginning or in the middle of this and I put up the 75 and then I play this through, it's just going to loop like seamlessly over and over again. And so whatever animation you're doing, just make sure that the same frame, or the same, the frame is the exact same at the beginning as it is at the end. And this goes for everything else that you have in the scene. So say you have like some kind of background animation going on. You just want to make sure everything looks the same at the beginning and at the end, and it'll loop seamlessly. And so this goes for, say, if I were to have this animate from 0, put this at 0, same thing. This will be your logo animating on and off constantly. Obviously, you're going to have a little bit more dynamic animation going on. This is just to show you how this works. Another thing, say I'm adding a rotate. So if I press Shift and R and then Shift and P, I can add like position and rotation, and I can make the position and the rotation this. And then if I go to the beginning and I drag the second number forward, it's going to put the position down. And then if I just like make the rotation really weird, it's going to be rotating and then moving up. And then I can, animate whatever I want on the way back down. I'm just going to leave it how it is. Actually, you know what? I'm going to copy this one, and then just for keeping everything the same, I'm going to copy this one and the rotation, Control C, Control V. And so now it's animating off. Obviously this looks like garbage, but I'm trying to illustrate a point here. Say you have this, and then you have like 10, 20 other layers animating, and you don't want to go and animate everything off like I just did here. And so what you can do is just go ahead and delete these keyframes and just have it animate on. Because if not, you'd have to go do what I did and then animate everything from like backwards to make it, the same at the beginning and at the end. But what you can do instead is, say you have this and then like a bunch of other, oh, didn't mean to do that. Say you have like a bunch of other layers, like I'm just going to duplicate this a bunch, and then I'll move them around. Obviously this is not going to be the best, but I'm going to try to illustrate a point here. Scale these down, move them around. So these are all animating on, and you don't want to go in all of these layers and animate them all back, to have it loop. What you can do instead is go to like where the animation ends and just highlight all of your layers and Control-Alt-D, or go to Edit and Cut up here to where it goes Edit, Cut, cuts the layer. And so now you can highlight all of these and then right click, press Pre-Compose, and then you can name it like Animation, and then you can press OK after you hit Move All Attributes into New Composition. And so now you just have this one animation. And now I can duplicate it and then play this one like directly after. And so now if I were to go, it's just going to play twice. But if I select the second one and press Control-Alt-T, it brings up my keyframes. And if I highlight them and I go to right click, Keyframe Assistant, Time Reverse Keyframes, it's going to play backwards. And then you kind of maybe want to drag this forward a little bit. And so now it's kind of just going to play backwards. Obviously, you want to play around with this because just to get it to look how you want. But that's something you can do. You can just literally make another composition and then just reverse the keyframes and have the whole animation play in reverse instead of doing it all by hand. And so that's one of the last things I wanted to show you guys. I'll show you one more thing that has to do with actual like effects in After Effects that you can loop in the program. So excuse me. I'll go ahead and make a new solid by pressing Control-Y. I'll name it Fractal. And then go to your Effects and Presets tab and then type in Fractal. Oh, sorry. Fractal noise is what you want. So go ahead and double click on it or drag it to your solid. And what I'll do is I'll change soft linear to block. I'll put the contrast up a little bit, put the complexity down to 0 so we can see what we're doing. And you'll see that there's evolution options here. And so if I click on evolution to make a keyframe and I drag it to the beginning of the layer, and then I, set the evolution, say I want to make it evolve or whatever 4 times. So if I go to the end and go to the beginning, I'm like, wait, why isn't this looping? It's not going to loop until you go into your evolution options and press cycle evolution. So now if I go to the beginning and the end frame, they should be the same. And so if I play this over and over again, it's going to seamlessly loop. You might not be able to tell because it's going really fast, but it is seamlessly looping. And I'll show this again. I'll go to your effects and presets tab and type in turbulent displace. Turbulent displace. This has the same option for evolution options, and so does a lot of other effects in After Effects. So just make sure you be on the lookout for those, play around with them. That's what I use for this one specifically. If I go down, oh, this is the wrong one. If I go down here to the end, this has like a displacement effect on it, and so it's looping seamlessly. So I'm going to go back into my After Effects. Let's add like a bunch of bulges here. And if I want to make it, I'll make a keyframe for evolution, press U on my keyboard so I can see it, line it up with the beginning, and then go to the end and make it, I'll have it evolve 2 times. And so if I go to the beginning and the end, they're not going to be the same. But if I go to evolution options and cycle it, it's going to be the same. So it loops seamlessly, and I can play it over and over again. Obviously, that animation looks really weird, but you get what I'm trying to say. So to get these rendered out, I'm going to use GifGun. I'm not going to actually render it out, but I'll walk you through the process. I'm going to look GifGun up. It's on AE Scripts. It's about $30. If you don't have the money, I will show you an alternative. I'll put GifGun down in the description below. I'll put the link. But it's $30. I 100% recommend it. Probably one of the best things I've ever bought to install in After Effects. Once you buy it, it'll show you how to install it and how to use it. And so basically what it is you can make GIFs at the click of a button. I'll go ahead and click on my composition 1, and if I click make GIF, it's going to make a GIF. You can GIF or whatever, GIF. It doesn't matter how I say it. Don't roast me. But you can go change the frame rate. You can resize the width. You can choose to where you want to save it to. If you want to have transparency, you just press keep alpha. You can. I use the experimental engine where it runs a little bit better. Make sure you click on infinite loop, and that's pretty much it. You can compress it with the best quality, and lossless gives you the best quality. But the fact that you can compress this at different rates, it gives you like a very, very small file size at the highest quality possible, and it renders it out almost instantly depending on your computer. And so this is literally a godsend. It is one of the most used things in After Effects that I use. I use this almost every day whenever I want to make GIFs and stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how to render this out. Without that, it won't be as good, or the file size won't be as great, but you can still do it. So if I go to composition and I just send it to media encoder queue, this is what I was doing earlier. You can click on this arrow and just click on animated GIF, and then click on the animated GIF match source, and you can mess around with the settings, use maximum render quality. You can uncheck this. You can mess with the frame rate, all this good stuff. I would just kind of leave all of it at default. But you can get your GIF rendered out like this. Depending on what it is, it might be a very higher like frame rate, or not frame rate. It might be a higher file size than with GifGun. So you'll have to do your own compressing. Media encoder will compress it, but it won't compress it as good as GifGun will, especially if you have a longer one and you have a lot going on. That's why you want to make them as short as possible and have them loop seamlessly as short as possible. And that makes that could cut your file size in half. But other than that, that's how you get it rendered out. You can render this wherever you want to, but I just kind of wanted to go through those ideas just to get them in your head. If you guys do make any GIFs using these techniques, please send them to me. My Twitter is going to be in the description. My DMs are open. Or if you just have any questions, just go ahead and hit me a message, or comment down below, all that good stuff. I read all of them, I promise. Other than that, if you guys enjoyed the video, if you learned something, please consider liking the video, maybe subscribing. Other than that, hope you have a great rest of the day. I'm out. Peace.